Hi everyone, it's Tanya and welcome to today's video. So a few weeks ago I did a video all about the longest books on my TBR and I really enjoyed that. So today I wanted to do a similar video but talking all about the shortest books on my TBR. And when I was combining the pile, I realized that all the books are very international and there are books from so many different countries, from very different authors, and that makes me so excited about all of the books. Given that they're so short, I can easily read them in like 1 or 2 days. The books I'm going to show you today are going to be under or around 200 pages. So with no further ado, let's begin. First book is The Blind Owl by an Iranian author and his name is Sadegh Hedayat. And so this book is a major literary work of Iranian literature of the 20th century. As far as I know, it is banned in Iran. I know if it was banned or if it's now banned, I'm not sure. It's very short and it has only 78 pages, so it's very short. And it tells a story of an unnamed man. He is a pencil case painter. It analyzes like death and the significance of death in our human life and how it affects us as people, just the fact that we are mortal. So the man, he has these nightmares about death, and when he wakes up there is this like shadow on his wall and the shadow reminds an owl, and so he talks about his nightmares which are related to death to the shadow of this owl, and it's just like his confessions. Sounds very interesting, and also just the fact that it's like a major literary work of the 20th century Iran makes me really want to read it. And so this is the first book on my short book TBR. Next book is by a German author, and the author, he won Nobel Prize in 2019, so last year, and this book is Don Juan. The book is also very short and it has like 100 pages, and basically this is a story of Don Juan retold by himself, like from the Don Juan points of view. So that's all I know about this book, but it's also very short and sounds very brilliant, and the fact that the author won Nobel Prize also makes me very curious about the book. Next book is also by an Iranian author, and this is I Hid My Voice by Parinush Sani. So this is a family story, and it's based on a story of a real boy who couldn't speak until he was 7 years old. And the family went to doctors, and doctors don't know what to do, and they say that there is no reason for concern. However, the boy is ridiculed by his siblings, he ridiculed by children in school, and he doesn't start talking until he starts living with his grandmother, and just like love of this woman, love of his grandmother helps him to start talking. And I just thought it was so interesting, like the situation is so rare. It's just, and also just the fact that the book is about love and how love helps people to open up and to find their voice, quite literally. Sounds just something like I would really love to read. The book is just written for me. I don't know, I love books about love and like friendship and all this like good things in life, so I feel like I'm really going to adore this book. And also the author herself, she is, I think she is a historian and sociologist, so she's just a very accomplished lady. And it also makes me very excited about her book. And the author has another book out. Her other book is The Book of Fate, and it became a bestseller in Europe. So after I finish this book, I will definitely do my best to find her first book. I expect to love this book so much. Next book I think is by English or American author, and this is Around the Village Green, and this is a memoir about growing up during the Second World War. This is all I know about this book, and this was enough. Also the cover says that it's a very heartwarming story, which also makes me very happy because I like heartwarming stories, especially set during these hard times. So yeah, I think I'm going to love this book very much as well. Oh, and this is 224 pages, so also quite short, and the font is quite big, so quite a short book. Another book is by a Korean author, and this is Familiar Things. Familiar Things by Hwan Sok-young. I might be mispronouncing the name, so I apologize. And so in this story we follow a young boy with his mother who arrive to this small community just a little bit outside Seoul with beautiful flower fields. And people there are very poor, it's hard for them to make ends meet, and it's the same for this boy and his mom. And so one day he sees these lights in the field, and he thinks that those are like ancient spirits. And basically this is a story about community. So what it says depicts a society on the edge of dizzying economic and social change. It's a haunting reminder to us all to be careful of what we throw away. Very interesting about Korea, Korean history. It must be something incredible, and I'm very excited to read this. Next book is The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom, and in this story a man who has been banished for trying to measure time, and a man who was the first to create watch and was banished for that, he is now granted freedom again, and he is granted a chance to redeem himself, and he is sent to our time, and he has to teach two people like the true meaning of time. And the two people with whom he has to work are a millionaire who wants to live forever, and a young small girl who tried to commit suicide and to end her life. And so our protagonist, our man, has to save their lives and I guess to teach them the meaning of time and of life as well. So it sounds very fascinating, and it's also set filled with deep human truth. That unforgettable story will inspire readers everywhere to reconsider their own notions of time and just how precious it truly is. So sounds incredible, so I'm also very excited about this book. Next book is a very short one, and it also has pictures, and this is The White Stag by Kate Siridi. And this is a retelling of a myth, of a Hungarian myth, about how Hungary was formed. I like mythology and mythology retellings, and I have never read anything from Hungarian mythology, so this is going to be my first one, and it's going to be incredible. Next book is a little bit intimidating, I think. I think the word is intimidating because it's Bukowski, Charles Bukowski, Notes of a Dirty Old Man, and like I really want to give Bukowski like a read and see if I like him or not, but I feel like this author has a very strong possibility of not being an author for me. I don't know, I really I kind of have an idea of what he might be like because I haven't read any books by him before. In Russia we have this Russian author, his name is Sergei Dovlatov, and he also writes about, he just writes very like honest prose about life, like from what I see, and I really like Dovlatov. So if Bukowski is something like that, I would probably really enjoy him, but he might be just too maybe explicit for me. I'm afraid of him being too explicit and like too, I don't know, I'm just too much, I don't know. We will see. I bought this book because I really want to give this author a try and to see whether I like him or not, because Sergei Dovlatov, I absolutely love him. I really want to reread his books, so that's what I'm gonna do when I come back to Russia, but for now we will gonna give a go to Charles Bukowski. Next book on my TBR of shortest books is Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut, probably. This is a book about a scientist who creates a deadly weapon which can freeze the whole planet, and now he has passed away and the authorities are trying to find the weapon, and the question is whether they're going to find it and whether everybody is going to die after they do. On the back it says that the book is told with a lot of humor and irony, and this is what made me to pick up it, because Also, the topic is very fascinating about like weapons and crazy scientists and just, you know, hunt for those types of weapons. I think it's going to be incredible, and I hope it's going to be funny as well. Next book is Things Fall Apart. This is a book about a young man who lives in this rural community somewhere in Nigeria, and he has a very fiery temper, and he doesn't want to be like his father. That's why he never shows his emotions to anybody. And when he tries to hide his emotions, he usually starts to fight, and eventually some outsiders like threaten his community and threaten the culture of his community, and he fights them. And so the question is, will his pride and his fiery temper eventually destroy him? I guess I will find out after reading this book. But this is the first book in the trilogy, so after I read this book and if I enjoy it, I will definitely pick up 2 other books. 3 more books that I have for you today are actually about Native Americans and about like Native American culture, because that's also a topic I want to learn about more. The first book being American Indian Stories and Old Indian Legends. This book has 140 pages. As it says in the title, it contains legends of these people. Next book is actually, I think, for children or a middle grade novel, and this is Soft Rain, a story of the Cherokee Trail of Tears. And so on the back end says that Soft Rain is 9 years old when her life changes. Without warning, white soldiers arrive at her house. They command Soft Rain and her mother to go with them, taking only the possessions they can instantly pack and carry. They are forced to leave behind Soft Rain's blind grandmother, her father and brother, and even her puppy. No one will answer Soft Rain's question: where are they going? What will become of her family? And apparently it's based on 1838 enforced relocation of Cherokee people from their southern homes to unknown west. And the last book, which is very short, and I don't know why I still haven't read it. It has only 43 pages, and this is The Soul of the Indian by Charles Alexander Eastman, or I guess his native name is Ohi Isa. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. And so in this book he talks about traditional morality and spirituality of his people before they were affected by Western people. This is a rare first-hand expression of native religion without the filters imposed by translators or anthropologists. So yeah, also very interesting, and I'm very excited about it. And there you have it, guys, all the short books on my TBR that I'm very excited about and really want to get to as soon as possible. So let me know in the comments what short books do you want to read, or that you have already read and you would recommend to me because you absolutely love them. I will be very grateful for all of your suggestions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're staying safe and having a very good day, and I will see you soon in the next videos. Thank you. Bye.